I don't know. I've been in denial all this time. 4 months. I don't even know how to begin to talk to my parents. Up until now, I've had a great relationship with them, but I'm very nervous in talking with my parents about this baby. I'm still very unsure of everything. And the only person that knows is me, you, and my homeroom teacher.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you say that you have a good relationship with your parents, and that's good.
I do.
So why is it that you're worried?
Well, we're Roman Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want them to be disappointed in me. I know they care so much about me, but they've always told me, boys only want to do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. It wasn't to intentionally hurt them. I don't know. I can't say that I thought I loved my boyfriend. I mean, we're still together and he doesn't even know. But, I stubborn, I guess. But it has nothing to do with my parents. But now, how can I go to them and say, oh, you little perfect girl, screwed up. So I'm just really scared. And I hate that. I know I hurt him. I know that they're going to be disappointed, and that's what I'm afraid of. So.
Is that something that you would like to work on? Would you feel a lot better if you did speak to your parents, if you did have their support?
I don't know. Yeah, it'd be great, because then maybe I can figure out what I want to do about the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, want the baby to live, but beyond that, besides just a healthy baby, I don't know. So right now, it terrifies me to have to sit down and talk to them about this. I've tried. I'm 4 months pregnant, so I think at last month, 3 months, I said, okay, I'm starting to show a little bit. Maybe I should tell them. But I went to their room. It was late, like I think 10 o'clock, and they were just in their room talking.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then immediately I go to the door, and my heart is like,
right.
And then I just played it off and just kind of sat on the bed with them and just talked about stupid stuff, really,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think they caught on that I really wanted to talk to them about something more.
Well, you've made steps. The fact that you've wanted to tell them, the fact that you're that close in telling them means that you do want to tell them. You're worried about what they're going to say, about how they will see you. So I think if you would like, would that be something that you really want to work on? Something that would make it better, talking to your parents?
I would like to talk to them. But I've kept this a secret for 4 months. I just don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep it a secret. I doubt seriously that I'll be able to keep it a secret for another month. Mm-hmm. My clothes, I've been wearing my older sister's shirts, and they've been like, why are you wearing Cindy's shirts? And I'm like, oh, I like her shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Lying. That's not me. I've never done that before, but, so that's the only way I've been able to hide it. So now I'm like, okay, I'm to the point now. I'm not going to be able to hide it any longer. So, I just get this overwhelming anxiety because of the unknown. I don't know how they're gonna take it, and I don't want them to. I know I messed up, right?
I mean, I
I
can't
mean, you're not
imagine.
gonna tell me
I
that,
can't
but
imagine how scary that is and what you're going through. But that's why I'm here. That we can figure out a way to work through this, work through the feelings that you're having, and uh, we can start off by figuring out what is at this moment that you can do from this point to better the situation. Ideally, what would you want to happen? What do you want to work on? What is something that could help you at this moment right now? Starting.
I like to be able to share this with my parents. I haven't gone to the doctor. Don't people go to the doctors when they're pregnant? I don't know. I mean, my aunt was pregnant last year, but she's an adult. I'm only 16.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure I'm supposed to go to the doctor for something. I know that there's prenatal pills. Is that right? You know, you take prenatal pills. Well, I haven't taken any, but I'm starting to get worried about the health of the baby because I haven't taken any pills. So I need to see a doctor. Well, can't go to the doctor because I can't just go say, hi, I'm Maria. I'm going to check in for a doctor's appointment because they're going to say, well, did you bring your mom with you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my mom doesn't know. So I think I need to talk to my parents.
Yes, so I think those are two really important things that we can start by working on, and especially the doctor's appointments, because you're right, you do care for the health of your child, and I think that would be very important for you, and so we should start off with that. You said you were referred by your homeroom teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And she's one of the other persons that knows that you're pregnant.
Yeah, Mrs. Johnson, she's been great.
So it seems like she's been your support system as far as letting anyone know. And
She has. But, you know, even though she's great, honestly, my mom is great too.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I've disappointed her. So I'd like for her and Mrs. Johnson to be able to talk too, and you know that way they all know and they can start helping me. But you know, the first month, I think when I just kind of was like, okay, something's going on with my body.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of miss my menstrual, but I know that a lot of times, you know, when you're younger, your menstrual probably can be sporadic. So I was like, oh, okay, it's probably
that
nothing.
can be confusing for you.
Right? But then the second month goes by, and now my breasts were starting to get tender, so I started looking up, you know, symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was just complete denial. I did not want to face it. I didn't want to be one of those girls. Who does? Never imagine. My mom would always say, again, be careful. Boys only want one thing. But I didn't think it would be me.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So I can see why the worry, why you would come from.
Yeah, I want to finish high school. I'm a junior. You know, I only have next year, and you know that's it. So I don't want to leave high school. Yeah, I think I need to talk to my parents.
Good, and the fact that you acknowledge that's a start. So
no, how?
So an idea would be, have you considered maybe having your Mrs. Johnson there with you to tell your parents? I mean, have you let her know at this moment, because you did say she is one of the few people that know besides me, it would be at your best interest to keep her updated on how you're doing, how your pregnancy is doing. And I'm sure that you've been doing that already.
She's asked me.
Mm-hmm.
She keeps asking me to keep kind of her in the loop, and so she knows exactly what's going on. And I've been willing to share things with her, and she's been very supportive. And this is why she referred me here, because she kept saying, "You have to talk to somebody." And she keeps saying, "I want you to talk to your family. I want you," but I've been crying and just,
Mm-hmm.
I just told her I don't want to hurt them. I know I was raised better than this. So, yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Could I bring my family in here?
We could potentially consider having a family therapy session. Of course. And
Or do you think or maybe I should tell them first and then we can have a family session? Well, I mean,
what do you think is best? What would you prefer?
I don't
What is
want them
most
to
ideal to
feel
you?
like everybody knows and not them, so maybe I should tell them first. And
I think that's a good
then
idea.
if I tell them first and then I can ask them, I could still tell them I came to see a therapist once
Mm-hmm.
and I would like them to come with me then we can kind of process as a family and kind of move from there. I chose this agency because I know that you'll have a lot of different connections with, different mother classes and groups, and I want to I don't know, I guess maybe I have made up my mind to keep the baby, but
Mm-hmm.
I just know I want the baby to be healthy and safe.
Right.
And I want to do all that I can do until the baby's here to make that happen.
Those are all considerations in the fact that you're thinking about them. It's a start. It'll start moving. It'll start progressing. So we can work with that first. Your priority, your goal, is to tell your parents.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you can have the support of your homeroom teacher, Mrs. Johnson.
I think if I told my parents and once it was done and I told them, it would be such a weight. I've been a straight A student until recently
Mm-hmm.
because of all the stress and the worry about keeping this a secret. It's really affected my sleep and my studies. The first couple months I was sick and nobody knew, and so all my homework and tests, they've all kind of dropped.
Mm-hmm.
All my grades, and I think I'm ready to tell them because I'm ready for the help that I need. So.
Good. I'm glad that you acknowledged that. That's really good steps. That's a big progress step. So, now your grades, you seem to mention, you seem to be concerned about them. So what is something that we can do about your grades, because you are concerned about them? So I think maybe after telling your parents, what's something that you can work on? Because it seems like, have you fallen behind or anything, if I may ask?
Well, I've fallen behind, but not a lot. It's just I haven't been able to focus because of the stress. So I haven't. Normally, I know these things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it's really interrupted my thought process, my mental capacity. So it's like I'm making C's on things that I would normally make an A.
Okay.
I mean, my instructors, they keep asking me, hey, Maria, what's going on? And I just tell them, I just have a lot going on right now. And they keep telling me, okay, well, you need to start really focusing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe if I talk to my parents first,
right,
that would relieve some of the burden
mm-hmm.
that I'm feeling, the stress that I'm feeling from keeping this a secret.
And you're stressed, so maybe we can work on potentially some stress relievers in the meantime that you figure out the way that you want to approach your parents. So potential stress relievers. What is something that you enjoy doing? What is something that, how are you coping with this at this moment? What is something that you've been doing?
Nothing. I've been hiding it. I haven't really been coping. I mean, I've been staying in my room, trying not to be seen, wearing big clothes. So before I would like to, hang out with my friends. But I hang out with them sometimes, but I don't go out to the mall shopping or whatever very often now. I just kind of just been being a little hermit, staying in the house, again, trying to just hide all of this. So I think, I don't know, I'm still nervous, but I feel like, for whatever reason, I feel like I'm going to feel so much better when I talk to them.
Yeah. Okay, so, right now, what are you thinking about telling them? What is the ideal situation? What is the approach that you would do to your parents? How does that look like in your mind right now?
I don't know. I think, like, I imagine that, I just have to, how people always say, oh, if you have something serious to talk about, you say, do you want to sit down? I don't know. So I probably would, have them sit down and tell them that there's been something that I've been wanting to talk to them about. I kind of feel like I want to plead my case first and just tell them, that I love them and I really appreciate everything that they do for me and my sister, and I know that they love me, and I don't know, just kind of tell them. But I made, I didn't listen to them when they told me not to have sex before marriage, and I only did it one time. So I think maybe if I tell them, or I'd have to wait till both of them are at home when they get from work, again, have them sit down, and I'll just start off with that, and then just say it, just tell them, this is, and I know it's going to be really hard, but I just have to do it, because I feel like I can't keep going on like this, and I know it's unhealthy for the baby.
Right. It sounds like you have a good start to how you would approach them.
I don't know, but it has to happen, right? I have to grow up sometimes.
By how much you're talking about it, it seems like you will feel very relieved after you tell your parents.
So. I used to tell them stuff all the time, so that's how I know that this is probably the best for me, because I rely so much on them. So, I really think that this could help me out a lot. It's just, I just hate that I'm even in this situation. I hate that I put myself in this situation, but.
Okay, so what we have right now is that we are going to work on telling your parents and getting you to some doctor's appointments, which I can start by giving you information about your pregnancy and what stage you're at. And so we can do that. We actually have some information out in the office.
Can I tell you, I haven't even looked up anything online because I'm afraid. I was afraid, like, oh gosh, if I look up something online about pregnancy or 4 months pregnant, they might have seen it, and I didn't want it to come from. I didn't want them to know about it that way. I wanted it to come from me, so that would be great to learn what the baby might be doing at this stage. Now that I'm ready to acknowledge I'm pregnant.
Good. So you are at that point where you're no longer in denial. You can't hide it any longer, and that's good. We will work on that, and we'll get you more information on that. So we can do that before getting the doctor's appointments. Also, we can start working on your potential stress relievers. So you had your friends. You say you like going to the mall, hanging out with them. Do you think that's still possible in doing that right at this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Or what else would make you feel better?
I think spend more time with my parents once they know.
Okay.
And learning more about the development of the baby. Walking probably might be good, right?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I think walking and
Okay.
so I don't know what else to do. I'm not that fun, I guess, but
No, that works. So every time you say you're feeling stressed out or you're feeling anxious, walking, you mentioned it, so you like walking. You can just go out and take a little breather.
Okay.
Okay. So, you mentioned earlier that the dad doesn't know.
No.
And how do you feel about that? Do you feel that you need to tell him
Yeah,
soon?
I need to tell him, but I think my parents really are the most important right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll tell him. I'm not as worried about telling him because hopefully he can be a part of the baby's life. But I'm not too. It would be nice.
Okay.
That would be ideal, right?
Right.
But yeah, I'm not really. I think we was in denial. So I think once I just outright and tell my parents,
Mm-hmm.
then I think I can kind of cope with it a little bit better and be out in the light. And then maybe I can share with him. He joked around actually,
Mm-hmm.
like last month, was like, "What if you're pregnant?" And I was like, "Shut up,"
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I was hiding
Right.
it the whole time. So I think that he would be pretty excited. He's 2 years older than me, so
Okay.
I'm a junior. He just graduated last year, so he's not that much older than me. My parents love him. His family is great. So I think he'd be really happy. He might be annoyed and mad with me at first
Mm-hmm.
for not telling him, but it's not like I'm waiting till I have the baby.
Right.
But I just didn't know what to do, and I haven't really decided. But I guess it would be okay to keep the baby, right?
Is that what you want?
I don't know. I do really, think that my boyfriend would be happy,
Mm-hmm.
and even though I played it off, I think he would be really happy just from his reaction. And I think once I told my parents, and after the initial shock, I've had 4 months to be in shock,
Mm-hmm.
so I know it's going to take some time. I think I want to keep the baby.
Great. Okay. So
I want to start getting excited, but I have to tell them first.
Great. So you're making all these decisions in your head, and that's great. And it sounds like you have a great support system. You have your teacher, you have your parents. By the sound of it, it sounds like you have a very good, healthy relationship with your boyfriend. So
we only did it once, and we've been together for 3 years. So
it sounds like a great relationship.
I thought we were doing really good.
Yeah.
And but I always heard my mom's voice. Boys only want one thing.
Yes, of course. Of course, the moms are always in the back of your mind, aren't they? So that's what we'll work on. Accepting your pregnancy by telling your parents. Working on your stress relievers. You'll still be stressed because of your pregnancy. working on getting you into your doctor's appointments, getting you more information about your pregnancy. So we will start off with that. What I want you to do is do some research. You said you didn't do any research, so we can work on that. We can also, you can come back in next week. Today is Wednesday, so you can come back in Wednesday and give me a scenario or an interpretation or way of how you would tell your parents.
Okay.
Okay, great. We'll go with that.